I used to play this game when I was about 10 years old.
Welcome back, everyone. For this month, we'll be checking out Dungeon Keeper 2, a real-time strategy game developed by Bullfrog Productions and published by EA in 1999. Dungeon Keeper 2 has the player manage a bunch of evil creatures by building them different rooms, like a bedroom to sleep in, a hatchery for food, or a training room to increase their level. The goal of every level is to defeat the hero or another keeper to get the portal gem. Each level introduces a new room, creature, or spell to slowly teach the player everything about the game. Then there's My Pet Dungeon, which is much more freeform to create whatever kind of dungeon or layout you want. Then decide when heroes come and attack. The goal is to earn enough points to advance to the next level. There is unfortunately an annoying bug in the GOG version where 3 specific creatures, the Firefly, the Black Knight, and the Dark Angel, will never spawn from a portal. Don't worry, I have a link in the description for you to download a patch to fix this. There is multiplayer, but no servers to join. This game is available on GOG for a couple of bucks, so definitely check this game out. Not the mobile version in 2014, but good news is, in August of 2022, support ended, and it's unavailable to play. Thank God for that. As usual, we're going to go through the story, so spoiler warning, what I liked and disliked, and any funny or awkward moments that happened to me during my playthrough. Let's go possess mistresses.
You have an excess of mistresses. There's a word for keepers like you.
Some quick history. Check out my Populous the Beginning retrospective because it's from the same developers. But a quick refresher. Bullfrog was founded by the infamous Peter Molyneux in '87. EA bought the company in '95. The last game Peter worked on for Bullfrog was the first Dungeon Keeper. I never played this game, so please let me know in the comments how similar or how completely different the two games are. In 1999, Bullfrog also released Theme Park World, but both Theme Park and Dungeon Keeper 2 did not do well financially. There is a Dungeon Keeper 3 teaser in the game, but it doesn't show any gameplay. It was just for trying to get people excited at the time for a third game. In August of 1999, Bullfrog was working on 3 games, a 4th Populous game, Dungeon Keeper 3, and a new property called Genesis, The Hand of God. However, management were concerned that Genesis was too similar to another upcoming game from the newly formed Lionhead Studios and their old boss, Peter Molyneux, Black and White, which I also have a retrospective on. So Genesis was cancelled. Bullfrog did start production on a 3rd Dungeon Keeper game, but sadly it was cancelled along with the 4th Populous game because EA got the rights to make Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings games, and they wanted to focus on making video games for those more popular franchises. Eventually, Bullfrog was merged into EA UK, which was later renamed to EA Brightlight. EA said that the studio would revive several IPs from Bullfrog, but the studio was shut down in 2011. Let's move on to gameplay. It's pretty simple gameplay, like most management-type games. You always start the level with your dungeon heart. If this gets destroyed, you lose. You decide what walls get destroyed and your imps will come over and mine it. Then they will turn the space into a land tile where you can build rooms or traps on. Each tile adds to your mana regeneration up to a max of 500. A portal is where creatures are summoned, and your first portal will create up to 15 creatures. Each portal after adds 5 more creatures to your maximum. The types of creatures that enter will depend on what rooms you have built and how big the rooms are. So if you have a big library, then you may end up with mostly warlocks. The important rooms are a bedroom because every creature needs a bed to sleep in to heal if wounded in battle. They also need a hatchery for food. These 2 things are the most common reasons why creatures might become unhappy. If they become unhappy for too long and don't get what they want, then they become angry, and when a creature becomes angry, they will leave your dungeon by dropping down into a portal. Or if a portal isn't available, then they will rebel and become hostile. Every few minutes is payday, which means all creatures will head to your dungeon heart or treasury if you built one to get paid. Make sure you have enough money to pay all your creatures. It'll let you know at the top just before payday. If it's flashing blue, you have enough gold, but if it's flashing red, then you need to find some more gold quickly. You can pick up any of your creatures and drop them anywhere on your tiles. However, they do become stunned for a few seconds. For combat, your creatures will fight the enemy, and if a creature loses all its health, it gets knocked out. You have about a minute to drop off an imp there to carry it back to its bed to rest and heal. I'll go more in depth with each room, creature, spell, doors, and traps as we go through each level. There's a campaign mode and My Pet Dungeon mode. The My Pet Dungeon involves creating your own dungeon any way you like. Each map will have their own challenges for you to overcome and earn a specific amount of points. As long as you do both bonus objectives, you'll easily hit this goal and move on to the next map, or keep playing if you want. There are elite creatures to summon, which are better versions of each creature, but you can only have one elite of each creature. All you need to do is create a specific room layout, like this, and you'll hear a special sound telling you that elite creature has entered from a portal. Sadly, you can only summon these elite creatures in My Pet Dungeon, and not in the campaign. Moving on to the campaign, there's 20 levels, with some offering some choice. If one level is too difficult, you might try the other one to advance. This isn't for all levels, but I did like one level that offered 3 choices. These are on the same map, but you can choose where you start on the map. It's always nice to give players choices. Lastly, there are a few secret levels that you need to discover on specific maps, and these levels are simple mini-games like slap the rock into the portal. Well, that just about covers the basics. Let's get into the story. Firstly, I want to mention about the beginning intro. I love the music, the animation, and sound effects. It really holds up well for a 99 game. Seriously, check it out after this video. But the only thing you need to know is this devil-looking monster is called Horny.
What?
Yes, I'm serious. His name is Horny.
What the fuck?
He's after these gems, but this wizard teleports them away and seals this open door. Horny does break in, kill the wizard, and takes the first gem. So that's basically our story, is helping Horny get all the gems so he can open the door to the overworld. The first level is really easy. Just follow what the narrator tells you to do. He'll tell you things like order your imps to dig, how to build rooms, and claim a portal. Those yellow rocks are gold for you to harvest. Your imps will hack away at it and take the gold. When they gather as much gold as they can carry, they will run back and drop it off on the gold pile around your dungeon heart, which can only hold about 16,000 gold. On this first level, you only get goblins. They're pretty weak, but with a bunch of them, they can be a threat. Once you have enough, the narrator will tell you where to dig and find the lord holding the portal gem. Just dig towards the hero unit and kill him. Horny will then spawn nearby and collect the gem. Then the game will tell you what you've unlocked for the next level, along with a short video, like this one of a mistress and her logo. Next level, you're able to build a library for warlocks. They will come in and research spells for you. They spend time in the library, and eventually you'll unlock Create Imp to summon more imps, and the lightning spell for stunning heroes. Once all spells have been researched, the warlock then spends time upgrading your spells, such as upgraded Create Imp has imps start at level 4. Speaking of levels, you can also build a training room. This allows your creatures to train up to level 4. But keep in mind, every time they strike a training dummy, it costs 20 gold. Which may not seem like much, but over time, the more creatures you have, you'll start to notice your gold reserves dwindle quickly. Not only do creatures get stronger with higher levels, but some get new abilities at certain levels. Like warlocks get the ability to heal friendly creatures. So just mind your way towards the hero and kill all the dwarves until he spawns and kill him. Overall, a simple level, still teaching you some basics. The video is a bile demon throwing chickens around like nunchucks. Next level has the workshop. This allows you to build doors and traps for your dungeon. For now, you just have a wooden door and a sentry trap, which is an automatic turret. You can select doors to be locked, which helps prevent your creatures from going to rooms or places you don't want them to. You also can build a treasury in order to store more gold. The workshop attracts trolls, who are currently the only ones that can use the workshop. On this map, you can try and fight the hero where he is, but there's a lot of turrets and other heroes around. So mining all the gold in the area will draw him out to fight you. So just build some turrets to easily defeat him. Overall, a fun and simple level. The video is a warlock trying to cast a spell on an imp, but instead turns himself into a chicken. Next level has the guard room. This brings in dark elves. They shoot arrows at enemies. They like to patrol in the guard room, which, if attacked, the elves will call for reinforcements to come and assist them. The new spell on this level is Possession. I would say this spell is overpowered. It allows you to...
I am assuming direct control.
You now have a first-person view and can wander around and attack enemies. You can do this to any of your creatures, including an imp. What makes this overpowered is the easy way to exploit the AI. It's usually pretty easy to get just enough in range and attack enemies, but they won't attack you because they think they aren't in range yet. You can also hide around corners and attack turrets without worry. Another thing is if you hit 7 on your keyboard, you can get minions to follow you. Get to the Lord who's hiding in the northern part of the map and kill him to win. Overall, a fun, simple level, but also really big to explore. The video is a giant hitting a chicken against a wall like he's playing tennis until he hits a bell. This level has the prison. When enemies are defeated, they are knocked out. Your imps will then carry them to a prison. If you wait long enough, the prisoners will turn into a skeleton. These creatures have some important pros and cons. The pros are they don't need a bed, or eat food, or get paid. They will use a training room until they hit level 4, then usually patrol around the dungeon until they find danger. They are among the few creatures that can attack a fear trap. This trap causes most creatures to retreat and even kicks you out of possession, but not skeletons. However, the downside to skeletons is I find them to be pretty weak, and because they don't have a bed, they can't heal. The other building you have is the wooden bridge. This allows you to build over water and connect your dungeon to new areas. Do some exploring and you'll find the hero's hideout. Use the skeletons to destroy his fear traps and get in there to kill him. I enjoy this level. It's simple, fun, and easy to get through. The video is a bunch of creatures gathered for a picture and something happens right as the picture is taken. Now we get to our first choice. One mission involves intercepting the Lord, but there's a chance he could escape and you lose. I hate those kinds of levels, so I always pick the other one, Besieged. Story is you're sieging the Lord's castle from the front. Right away we get the Mistress. I would describe this creature as a glass cannon. They do some serious damage, but also have low health. I always train up a Mistress as high as I can, then possess her, and kill enemies I come across. The torture chamber is what summons a mistress, and where you can place prisoners in and either let them die to reveal parts of the map, or use the heal spell to keep them alive, and after a while, they will convert and become part of your creature army. This doesn't affect your maximum number of creatures from portals. They do require a bed and eating, so make sure to account for that. However, the downside is sometimes your creatures become unhappy simply because you have too many hero creatures. Slowly make your way to the Lord and kill him as usual. I like this level. It's simple and big with lots of enemies to deal with and then converting them into your army. The video is a skeleton scouting with his eyeball and sees a knight swinging his sword around. This level has lava, so first thing you need to worry about is giants. Early on, a giant will wander towards your dungeon, so get a bedroom up as fast as possible. Then you can make your way to where a now dead keeper used to be. Take the rooms and make them bigger if you want, but now you can explore with the salamander. They spawn if you have a training room built. They can also walk across lava as well as giants. So use your possession spell to explore the lava areas and build a wooden bridge to capture some of the areas. Of course, over time parts of the wooden bridge will get destroyed, but just sell a small part of it before it gets destroyed and the rest will reset back to full health. Just keep mining and exploring until you find the hero. You can now use the Call to Arms spell, which raises a banner and will call all your creatures to it. They will run straight for it and attack enemies near it. Overall, an enjoyable level for exploring. This video is a warlock smelling a potion and getting horns. We get a small cutscene of Lord Titus talking to the king about his recent victory over Keeper Dante. This level is a challenge because you can't really mine and design your own dungeon. You need to explore and find rooms scattered around the level. You're mainly going to be using the possession spell for this one. I mean, you can try and not use it, but your only option is dropping your creatures near enemies. So good luck with that. This level has a casino. This is where your creatures can gamble their money. and either you can rig it so you can get most of your money back from them, or make them happy and at a random moment the narrator will say, "Jackpot winner!" When you go to your casino, there will be fireworks, creatures dancing, and you'll hear that song, "Burn, baby, burn." The creature that won will go and collect a big chunk of your money, so make sure you have plenty of gold in reserves. The creature that spawns from casinos is a rogue. He's pretty weak, but will explore dungeons and find invisible traps for you. You may not see the traps until you step on them, so maybe consider the rogue to scout for them. Make your way north and find Lord Titus and kill him to get the gem. Overall, a fun, unique level. The video is a bile demon hitting a training dummy in front of 2 imps until a mistress walks in. This level is timed. You have 20 minutes to set up before the hero spawns and walks from one side of the map to the other. If he makes it, you lose. There's 3 outposts with guards that will join him if he walks through, so it might be a good idea to destroy all 3 outposts. My plan is to then destroy all the walls and build lots of turrets. The new creature we get is the Bile Demon. He's very tanky in combat and also works in the workshop. On this level, I recommend quickly going over and mining this gem wall. This has infinite gold for your dungeon. It will never get destroyed and always produces gold. So early on, I get a torture chamber up and possess a mistress to destroy the turrets and guards at the first outpost. Then start taking it over and mining all the walls. Hopefully you have enough time to build enough turrets by the time he arrives. I don't even need to use lightning on him. Overall, another fun, unique level to play. Normally I don't like timed missions, but this one was good, because it gives you plenty of time and lets you decide on how you want to set up. The video is an imp running from a giant. He almost catches up to him, but drops his giant bag of gold to get away. We get another sort of timed level. At the start, you have 45 minutes to destroy all the hero gates, which are these things. You need to take all the spaces around it to destroy them. There are 4 surrounding your dungeon and 4 in the middle that will attack the blue keeper. So quickly get to building and exploring these hero gates and destroy them. You will get invaded a few times, so make sure you have enough creatures for defense. I recommend grabbing the 2 portals right away. There's also gems, so you don't have to worry about gold. I just kite enemies until they die and clear the open area first, then slowly make my way inside and kite more enemies. Possession once again feels overpowered, so I wonder how much more difficult this would have been without it. There's just enough time to eliminate all the heroes and destroy all 8 gates before the time expires. It just takes a while to get through a bunch of doors and some spike traps, so watch out for those. Then you just need to defeat the blue keeper to win the level. Overall, another fun, challenging level. Just like in the last one, I normally hate timed missions, but this one once again gives you just enough time to beat it. But that whole time I'm looking at that timer hoping I have just enough time to beat it. The video is a warlock again, smelling another potion. For the 11th level, you get 3 choices on where to start. You will fight 4 other keepers: blue, green, pink, and yellow. According to the narrator, he says the one I selected is the most difficult start, because there is no portal. But I start out with some powerful creatures like the Mistress and Salamanders at level 2, 3, and even 4. However, I find this to be the easiest because I'm right next to yellow, and so I attack them right away, defeating them, and now I get a portal and free rooms. There is pink, who's also next to yellow, so they did quickly build a stone bridge and attack me. They may use a call to arms and attack your dungeon right away, so it can feel like a race to who will get defeated first. Sometime later, I decided to attack blue, who's hiding in some caves, then eventually make my way to green. Overall, a fun, unique level fighting 4 keepers at once. The video is a group of creatures trying to take a picture again, but the warlock turns them into chickens. Here you face off against a blue keeper again, with some hero units in the middle, but this time the heroes they send at you are almost dead. So they're easy to kill, and once you take them to the nearby graveyard, you now have a place to store corpses. So don't build a prison to take prisoners. You want them to die so imps will carry the corpse to the graveyard, and once there's enough, a vampire will spawn. This is your only means to make creatures because there is no portal. Well, technically blue has a portal, but there is a hero gate that will constantly spawn dwarves, so you can keep farming them for more vampires. They can also research spells in the library. They are pretty powerful creatures on their own, and if they die, they will respawn back at the graveyard, but they lose a level. If they die at level 1, then they permanently die. So slowly build up a vampire force and make your way to the blue dungeon and defeat them. Overall, a simple, straightforward level. The video is a knight showing off his skills to a warlock, when the warlock turns the knight into a chicken. This one introduces the monk to your enemy's list of units. These creatures can defeat vampires no matter what level they are. They are also super annoying with their heal ability. Seriously, you'll almost kill a hero and then suddenly they get healed back to full health. So it's best to target the monks first. You have enough room to build a small dungeon, but there are some rooms already built, but are scattered around the level. You'll want to convert the monks because at the eastern side of the map is the Blue Keeper, and he had nothing but vampires. Some were even as high as level 8. If you find him, he will place a call to arms on your dungeon heart so his vampires will rush over to finish you off. But if you have an army of monks to defend your base, it'll be pretty easy to defeat them. Overall, another fun level. The video is a mistress torturing a skeleton with her whip. This level finally allows you to summon Horny himself. This is a challenging level because you barely have room to build a dungeon, and there's barely any gold. You need to hurry and defeat the heroes before they defeat you. Yep, there's only 2 hero gates that every couple minutes will spawn a group of heroes to attack you. Grabbing a mana vault will increase your mana regeneration by 100. You're going to need them because Horny costs 100,000 mana to summon, and you'll know when you can summon him when you hear this sound.
You have my allegiance, Keeper. Don't abuse it.
When he's summoned, you won't lose mana at first, but after a few minutes it will cost you about 2,000 mana every second to maintain him on the map. He's invincible and does a lot of damage to enemies, usually 1 or 2 shotting them. He sometimes throws a firebolt from range, but you're going to need him since you're probably going to run out of gold before you have an army strong enough to defeat the Lord. So just let Horny do most of the work and you'll win. Overall, a fun, challenging level. This video is probably my favorite. You get another choice between 2 levels. I choose the Storm one since there's plenty of space to build a large dungeon, and you get 2 portals, and there's a gem wall. This level has you build a combat pit. The Black Knight spawns from this room. He's a good mix of damage, attack speed, armor, and health. The combat pit has creatures fight each other and allows them to fight until one of them is defeated, or if one of them hits level 8. This becomes my new routine. I throw a Mistress and Black Knight into the combat pit and let them attack each other until they hit level 8 by healing them. Then I possess one of them and explore the map, taking out enemies until I find the Lord. This became my go-to strategy for most levels after this. This level introduces a new enemy called Fairies, who are weak but they also start a fight with lightning, which stuns my creatures and does pretty good damage. Still, they were no match for me and eventually I got to the Lord and defeated him. Overall, a fun, simple level. The video is a mistress torturing a skeleton again, but this time she crushes him to death. This is probably one of my favorite levels in the game. Once again, it's designed for exploring and finding rooms. At the beginning you get 2 workshops, but I just sell one of them because you really just need one. The new trap is a secret door. This creates a door that looks like a wall to your enemies. This helps keep your dungeon a secret. so make sure to lock it so creatures don't go into enemy territory until you're ready. They have some strong creatures patrolling around. Gems can be found on the complete opposite side, so try not to overspend until you get there. Once you've explored and have some strong creatures, you're ready to go ahead and fight the Lord in the middle of the map. Overall, this is still a favorite level. It makes me play very carefully, almost like a stealth game. The video is Horny fighting a knight in a room full of fire. Then a wall falls over, showing a skeleton, bile demon, and warlock laughing.
And cut! Kill the flames!
This level has the final room to unlock, the temple. There's a blue and green keeper on this level to defeat, but you also need to defeat 20 heroes in order to get 10 level 10 Dark Angels, the most powerful creatures in the game. There are no gems, but lots of gold to mine, so I get to building up my dungeon and then get a mistress to level 8 and possess her. I start attacking heroes in the middle of the map until I've killed them all. Then you'll hear a new voice declaring you the victor. Level 10 Dark Angels have the ability to spawn 3 skeletons for a short time. They can one-shot most enemies, so Dark Angels are like the most overpowered creature in the game, especially if you level them up. Just send all of your Dark Angels to the enemy keepers to easily win. The video is really short, it's this. We now face 3 keepers. One of them is named Nemesis. No, not that one from Black and White with the badass voice.
Silence, traitor! You must not pass on the secret of the creeds.
Instead, we get this strangely voiced one.
Come, my sons, and make your father proud! The years do take their toll on me, and now this family's fate relies upon us all!
Anyway, it's straightforward. There's gems over here for infinite gold, and I found a temple hiding in the corner of the map. It's best to defeat green, then yellow, then charge straight in and defeat Nemesis. Overall, not too much to say about this level, except it takes a while to beat. It was a decent challenge, however there's nothing really unique about it. The video is a fairy spinning around a bile demon until he vomits. This level is similar to the 16th level, where stealth is important, and this one is even more important. There's 3 princes patrolling around, and if one of them gets attacked, all 3 of them will try to escape, and if just one of them gets away, you lose. So it's really important to prevent that. However, it's rather easy because one of them you can just trap on this island. The other 2 I just made sure to place freeze traps to slow them down on their way to the hero gate. And once I feel ready, drop my creatures down on them. Then drag them back to the prison and then convert them to win. Overall, it's a simple but yet still fun stealth-like level. The video is again Horny fighting a knight in a room full of fire, but this time a mic comes into view and the voice says,
No, 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 no! Kill playback!
This is it, the final level. The king and his bodyguards are all level 10, so it will be a tough fight. However, you need to build up your dungeon quickly because you are once again surrounded by hero gates who will continue to send waves at you until they destroy you. There isn't much gold in the area, so keep an eye on how much gold you spend, at least until you get the 1 gem tile, which is far away. Once you've dealt with the hero gates and pushed north to the king's castle, you can try and fight him, but it's also best to have Horny there since he does some good damage to these level 10 heroes. Sadly, the king dies instantly, so there is no capture and convert him to your side. That would have been cool. The last thing you need to do is send Horny into this small room to defeat the Stone Knights. Your creatures can't do any damage to them. Only the power of his horniness can do it. Once defeated, Horny collects the last gem. Overall, it's a good final level to challenge you on everything you've learned from playing this game. The final cutscene is Horny putting all the gems into the machine. It begins to open the door, but 2 stone knights come alive and Horny tries landing a blow on one of them, but it pushes him down. So Horny kicks it and it breaks into pieces. Then Horny looks at the door for a moment, then looks at the other stone knight and charges at him and breaks him into pieces. The door opens and Horny steps through into the overworld. We get that mistress video from the beginning, but this time we get the bullfrog logo. In conclusion, Dungeon Keeper 2 is still a fun, unique RTS dungeon management game. I know I didn't go over every single trap and spell, but that's because I never really used any of those other spells or traps beyond the ones I mentioned in this video. Most traps are kind of pointless because you're always on the offensive, but the few times you actually get attacked, your creatures are more than enough to deal with them. If only there was a hard mode to make traps more necessary for defense. There have been a few games that tried to be spiritual successors like Dungeons 1, 2, and 3, and War for the Overworld, which did bring back the narrator from Dungeon Keeper 2 for that game.
It is time, Underlord. Your dungeon yearns to be rebuilt, and the minions of the deep all long for blood to be spilt once again.
However, they just didn't quite capture the feeling I got from Dungeon Keeper 2. I hope this gets a remake one day, but for now, I'm glad it's available on GOG, even if it's bugged. Like I said, the Black Knight and Dark Angel won't spawn, but at least the community has patches to fix that. So for now, definitely check this game out on GOG. Next month is the long-awaited Warcraft 3 The Frozen Throne. Subscribe and turn on notifications to know when it gets released. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe to help grow my channel and comment below on what you thought. Also check out my other videos and check me out on the Time Pals podcast over on Spotify. Links in the description. Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next video.